we're recording specifically for who?
Jared.
Yeah, shouts out to Jared.
Hey, here's a shout out to Jared and Dominic and
Julio.
Jack.
There. George.
Riley.
Yeah.
Riley's name. Okay, so we're doing this just for you guys, so be quiet from now. We're talking about the triangle mid-segment conjecture, okay? And what we just learned, this is conjecture C, I think it is C42 on your conjecture sheet. Did I give you that one? Triangle mid-segment conjecture. And it says, a mid-segment of a triangle is parallel to the third side. Parallel to the third side. And it is also equal to half the length of the third side. Okay? So it's parallel to the third side and half the length. So if this angle here, if I told you that this is mid-segment, I tell you that this angle here is 70 degrees over here, what would this angle up here have to be? 70 degrees, because those make corresponding angles, right? If I had another triangle like this, and I tell you that this is the mid-segment, even though it doesn't look like a mid-segment, like that, and I tell you that this is x plus 5, and this is 3x minus 12.
Why'd you put plus 2?
3x, because I'm just, okay, and I say find x. Could you do that? Could you do that? How would I do that?
4x equals negative
Multiply
10.
x plus 2 times 2.
Good. Okay. So if I said find x and you were given a picture like this, showing that this is a big segment, you could write that 2 times x plus 2 equals 3x minus 12. I don't know if this is going to work out because I just made this one up. But I think it does. 2x plus 4 equals 3x minus 12. That means that x equals 16. See how you do that? I subtract 2x from both sides, add 4 to both sides. On there. And also you can find out these angles. If this angle is, what would this angle have to be over here? Oh, I don't know. Maybe this angle is 40 degrees. What would this angle up here have to be? 140 degrees, and so on. So that's the triangle mid-segment conjecture. The other thing that's true in a triangle, and this is something that is not immediate. Oh, that doesn't look like a triangle. Oh, is that cool or what? All right. So if I connect this midpoint, that midpoint, and this midpoint to that midpoint, and this midpoint, this is kind of what John was saying, like this, and I connect all three of these things. So if I connect this to here, and this to here, and this to here, what do you think is true about all three of these triangles? They're all congruent. Okay? So it also makes 4 congruent triangles. That's another conjecture. And so if you know this side is 10 over here, what would this side have to be over here? Oh no, you wouldn't know that. Say this is 8 and this is 6, right? So say on this triangle this is 6, 8, and 10. What would this side have to be? Which one? Since this goes with this has to be the 8 side, right? Which is the 10 side? Oh, I didn't really tell you, did I? Yeah, this has to have 1 mark on it, right?
So that's 6.
So this would have to be 6, and this side would have to be 10, right? Does that work? Sure, it does. Okay. And then you can figure out that this side would have to be 8, this side would have to be 6, and this would have to be 10, right? Because these two pieces have to be the same, right? And so, okay? Do you follow that? You're going to figure that out when you get to some more problems. Okay, the next thing has to deal with the mid-segments. Mid-segment of a trapezoid. Okay.
But go do something about that.
I've heard that song. Piece of an isosceles trapezoid, mid-segments not in an isosceles trapezoid, but in a trapezoid in general. So if I were to draw a trapezoid, not necessarily an isosceles one, so I'm going to make it kind of like that. Come on, there we go. And this is a trapezoid, meaning it has one pair of parallel sides. And I connect the midpoints of those sides. Will you please write down some notes instead of spinning things around on your finger? Okay, come on. And I connect the midpoints of these two non-parallel sides. Okay? This thing here, if those sides, if this is congruent to that, and this is congruent to this thing is called a mid-segment. Mid-segment. And it turns out that if this is side A, and this is side B, and this is side C, guess what's true?
All parallel.
They're all parallel, that's true. And C is the average of those two. So A plus B divided by 2 equals C. Okay, so that's your mid-segment of a trapezoid conjecture. It says, and there's ways to prove that geometrically, and so I think I don't quite have this one on your conjecture sheet. I think it should be C43, but it says a mid-segment of a trapezoid is parallel to the bases. So it's parallel, and the average of the two bases. And this is, I don't think you have this one yet, so I have to add it. I have to give you the sheet on Friday, I guess. Average of the bases. So let me just do a quick example problem, and then we'll kind of be done. So if I have a trapezoid here, let's do it upside down, just to make things more complicated. Let's say that this is a trapezoid. Make a trapezoid. Thank you. Okay. And I tell you this and this, and then, whoops, that's not a very good parallel sign. And then I connect these two like this, and I say that this piece is equal in length to this piece, and this piece is equal to this piece, and I tell you that this is 100 degrees over here. And I ask you to find angle X over here. And then I tell you that this is 12, and this is 5, this is 8, and I ask you to find this piece. Could you do that?
Yes.
Okay, what is that piece right there? That's 12 plus 8 divided by 2, which is 10. What's this angle right here? Since these are parallel lines, that would have to be 100. The other thing, what if I erase this here, and I said that this piece is 20, and this piece is 15. That couldn't be, right? Say this piece is 26. How would I find this piece over here? You have to do a little algebra, okay? Call this side x, right? And then I can say that 20 plus x divided by 2 equals 26. How do I get x by itself? Multiply both sides by 2, multiply that side by 2 and that side by 2. These go away, and I get 20 plus x equals 52. And then I subtract 20 from both sides, and I get that x equals how much? X equals 32, right? 32. And 20 plus 32 makes 52. Divided by 22 gives you 26. So it checks, right? Good? So, your homework on this, that's all I'm going to tell you, okay, is page 277, 1 through 8. But then there's an additional little section where I want you to find equations of lines. And there's examples in here, so I'm not going to teach it to you because this section is kind of a review. So I'll let you work on that, and if you have questions about that, you can ask me. So you have 35 minutes? Did you get started? I don't care. No, I don't start. If you want to start the pictures, start too. Okay. The end. What?